Well, today was the day we put in most of the main crop garden.
Yep, it's that time of the year where while we plant throughout the year, throughout the seasons, we do have a main push of getting especially a lot of our preservation vegetables in, storage vegetables in.
So it was a lot of things like tomatoes, bell peppers, cucumbers,
beans,
green beans, all of that.
Potatoes.
We're putting in our main crop of potatoes right now.
Yep.
And so, corn, winter squash, all of those types of things.
Absolutely. It's a big day.
It was a big day, but as the kids have gotten older and they've always gardened with us, it was a lot easier day than it's been in past years.
It was the easiest, what we call main crop planting day, I think that we've ever had. The kids have really matured up over the years of doing this, and they've been doing this with us all their lives.
Yeah.
It was a really fun day. There was a lot less having to direct and just more working together and fellowshipping.
It really was.
And laughing.
And this is the benefit, when you start training children young with what you're going to do, what you do as a family, and things that you can enjoy together, they kind of just learn how to do it together as a family. Our children have been gardening with us since they could walk, or maybe even beforehand. I'd bring babies out and put them on a blanket while I would garden, and they'd crawl around in the garden. And, a lot of times, honestly, that ends up being more stressful on the day. When you have toddlers running through your garden and you're trying to plant new little baby plants and they're pulling them out behind you, it can be really challenging to let them be in there with you.
It has been over the years, especially with a large family and wanting them to be exposed, wanting them to have experience, but needing to get productive work done.
Yeah.
We do this not as a hobby, but to provide for ourselves and provide for our family. And so we have to get things done. We can't just totally play.
Yeah.
And that has been challenging, but very worthwhile, because we're doing more than gardening.
Yeah.
We're helping build up these lives and add value to their lives and their perspective on life.
Well, and gardening is such an amazing skill to teach in so many ways to a young person. I mean, one, of course, you have that skill of growing your own food, and that's just something that will serve them their entire life, whether they go out and garden on their own in the future, or whether they're just better informed consumers as they're buying food and buying vegetables. They understand what they're doing. But there's also this level of character that comes with gardening. You have to put in the hard work, and you're sweating out in the sun, and you have to get the job done. And then you have to have patience. It's not this immediate reward that so many things are. There's no immediate gratification in gardening.
And that is so important today. The world today is feeding us so much. We get information so fast. There's such an expectancy to get an immediate return on whatever effort it is, whether it's turning the TV on or even in our workplace. It's just, we want now.
Yeah.
And that's historically not normal. And it's so important to learn to work hard, but to be patient and harvest the fruits of your labors over time, and to be thinking out past in your own life. I mean, we're trying to think out a couple generations even. And people used to think more that way. And a garden is a good place for experiencing part of that and understanding part of that.
Well, and you can really see that growth because, you take a toddler and you have them plant a seed. And what do they want to do within about 5 minutes? They're going to dig that seed up and see if it's growing yet, right?
And they do.
And
they pull it up and look at the roots, put it back down. And how many times have I told them you're going to kill that, and they actually get through part of the season doing that?
Yeah, amazingly, some plants can make it through quite a bit of torture. But the next year, the year after that, they're letting it go a little bit further before they start digging it up. And before long, the, middle-aged child, that younger child is starting to tell the young siblings, don't pull up your seeds because they won't grow well, and they're waiting patiently for those seeds to germinate. But just because the seeds germinate doesn't mean you're eating the fruit of it yet.
Right.
And so then there's that whole other side of waiting even when you see something happening. So it's just this amazing skill that I think if all children had to garden and had to grow some element of their own food, we would have a lot more character in our culture.
I think you're right. And, I think another element is both the miracle or magic of creation and the abundance of what God has done in a seed. Mm-hmm. And this one tiny seed that you plant in the ground and the return that you get from that. Mm-hmm. And that even leads into economic principles, really, of understanding how economics work, how good economics work even, and seeing that one seed can grow up and produce 5-fold or 10-fold or 100-fold.
Right. And
provide food for yourself for the season, but yet provide seeds for following seasons at the same time. And so there's a beautiful display of both creation and both of wise planning and thinking in the long term.
Thinking ahead, yeah. Well, and then what else children get from planting a garden and working in the garden is
a tan.
Hopefully a tan and not a burn. We work on that. Got a lot of dirty toes by the end of the day, right? And fingernails. But they also get an appreciation for eating their vegetables. And at the end of the day, it comes back to really, really good food.
It does. And you know what? You remind me, people ask us regularly, how do we get our kids to eat vegetables, eat this food? When they have gone out and they've participated in the planting, in the glory of watching that sprout and grow up and harvest it all the way to the table and eating it, there's just a natural appreciation in that we've seen them, that we've just seen that grow in them.
Yeah.
That knowledge and that appreciation just happens.
They get excited to actually participate in eating their vegetables that they've grown.
Right. Yeah. And I think that they like them more. They appreciate the value of them more.
Yeah. We all appreciate the value of something that we've worked hard for.
We do.
Yeah.